Storytime is meant to adapt the stories, mostly, of great unadapted, old and forgotten comics from the past. I combine voice acting with narration to abridge the work as much as possible without lessening its impact, and to bring the stories to life the best way I can. Please enjoy. Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to Storytime for the comic books of Boba Fett. A long time ago, in a canon now far, far away, Boba Fett was known far and wide as the most ruthless and the most effective bounty hunter in the galaxy. Today I want to show you two stories which exemplify this and help define his character beyond his brief appearances in the films. But I also don't want to knock fans of the TV show. I think that Tamura is a fine actor and he's certainly earned this role. I just wish they were writing him a bit more like his old self, and showcasing his particular power and set of highly refined skills, the things that made him a force to be reckoned with in the first place. And so to show you what the old character was like, today we have two stories where Boba fights some of his toughest opponents single-handedly, and ideally you'll see how and why he's earned the reputation that he has from the way that he operates. First up is Enemy of the Empire, published in 1999, and this story is set before A New Hope begins. It details a conflict between Boba Fett and Darth Vader that ends in an all-out fight between the two, and few have walked away from encounters with either foe. Vader hires Fett to retrieve a prize so valuable he cannot chance that Fett might choose to keep it, and so moves to secure it from him personally, after first sending more agents to attempt to kill him. It showcases Fett's tracking skills, his cleverness and resourcefulness, and his pure fighting ability when he finally faces the Emperor's top enforcer. Also, his and Vader's particular moralities are explored a bit when the prize turns out to have a mind of its own, and wishes a say in its fate. Then we have Twin Engines of Destruction, published in 1997, but set 5 years after the end of Return of the Jedi. And it tells of Boba Fett taking care of a pretender wearing a copy of his armor and poaching high-priced jobs by posing as him. Fett takes this personally, and hires the bounty hunter himself to set him up to learn a very hard lesson about claiming a reputation you did not earn. However, it won't be easy, as the imposter has copied every one of Fett's weapons and many of his tactics, so all of his advantages are neutralized, and it will be a battle of wits, reflexes, experience, and pure skill as the two men in Mandalorian armor clash. Also know that these comics are but the tip of an iceberg of old EU Boba Fett stories, in novels as well as comics and games. It is only meant to represent the pure essence of the character, not provide any kind of comprehensive history. If you're curious about how he escaped the Sarlacc pit in the old canon, well, it was usually left unexplained, the thinking being that it was more impressive if we didn't know exactly how he achieved it, but were simply confronted with the reality of him as an unexpected enemy. Here is his first meeting with Han Solo after that day, and he simply tells Han, "The Sarlacc found me somewhat indigestible." Which is just to say, if a more specific explanation does exist, I'm unaware of it. Now then, let's begin. Enemy of the Empire. In the darkest days of the rebellion, when the dead hand of Empire stretched out across the galaxy, threatening to crush all within its grasp, there took place a meeting between Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith and commander of the Imperial fleet, and the bounty hunter Boba Fett. This is the never-before-told story of that murderous tryst, and the dread secret that could have changed the fortunes of the war. Near an asteroid currently under an Imperial raid. Star Destroyer to Slave 1. You are cleared to dock. Approach with caution. Imperial operation in progress. Yes, caution. Only a fool enters the presence of Darth Vader with anything less. Lord Vader, the bounty hunter ship is approaching. Vader's TIE destroys a rebel fighter. Very well. I am tired of this exercise. The rebels are too poorly equipped to provide a challenge. Excise the infection. The Star Destroyer fires a huge laser, obliterating the rebel compound. Stormtroopers escort the bounty hunter to Vader's quarters. Boba Fett, my lord. I have heard much about you, Fett. I am told you are the most ruthless of a ruthless breed, that you are feared above all others, that your quarry never escapes you. There is a task I wish you to perform. Abal Karda, colonel of the Imperial Lightning Battalion. Karda was in command of the campaign against the Ikari on Vestar. 28 days ago, he shot dead his superior officer and 4 bodyguards, and absconded. He was officially classified enemy of the Empire and sentenced to death. Agents traced him as far as Port Esta, the planet's main settlement, where he eluded them. Despite all their efforts, he has not been found. You will find him for me. And the reward? 10. 30. 10,000 on the head of a common deserter is quite sufficient. Colonel Carter is hardly a common deserter to attract such interest from Lord Vader. Do not try my patience, Vet. 12. He can feel the power of the Dark Lord at work on him. Were he to yield to it, the meager offering would seem a princely sum. Yet there may be greater advantages to be gained by cooperation. Agreed. You will begin immediately. When you locate Abel Carter, there will be a casket in his possession, a plain, knee-high casket. You will execute Carter and bring the casket to me. What is in it? Military papers relating to the Ikari campaign, of importance only to historians. Still, better that they should not fall into the wrong hands. That includes yours, Vet. You will bring the casket to me unopened. Is that understood? Of course. Sometimes ignorance is wisdom, Fett. Remember that. Slave 1 disembarked from the Star Destroyer. Attention, Boba Fett. Since docking, this ship's weight has increased 341 micro-units. The weight of a smear of grease, or a miniature tracer beacon. Lord Vader taking very close interest in proceedings, perhaps. With agents scouring Vestar, Colonel Carter would wish to get off planet quickly. The shipping register lists 3 ships leaving Port Esta within hours of Carter's disappearance. 1, a passenger liner, no doubt thoroughly searched. Another, a military transport, for Carter, like fleeing into the furnace. The third outbound was a tramp freighter, Port Esta Queen, currently on return route to Vestar. Crew, too, not registered to carry passengers, but the register doesn't always tell the full story. To Vestar, then. One fact is clear. The Dark Lord's interest lies in the casket, not Abel Carter. Carter is disposable. He doubts Vader would go to the trouble of calling on his services over mere papers. A lie to cover its true contents? So what is in it? Why does Darth Vader want that casket so badly? Boba Fett lands on Port Esta to begin his search. As he enters a cantina, a large Wookiee is roughing up some Lightning Battalion soldiers he needs to speak with. Fett knocks the Wookiee out by firing his backpack rocket into its head as an unprimed projectile. And the Wookiee falls to the floor. The next one is primed. I have business with these troopers. Interfere at your peril.
Boba Fett! Don't worry, Fett. We was just leaving anyway.
He replaces the rocket.
Guess we owe you our thanks, friend. I am not your friend. I do not require your thanks. Sit. I have a ship to meet. My time is short. Do not waste it. Tell me all you know about Abel Carter.
Colonel Carter? Sure. I'll tell you about Colonel Carter.
As a team of small attendants attempt to drag the unconscious Wookiee away, the soldiers tell Fett of his quarry and his leadership in the war against their enemy, the Ikari. Colonel Carter managed to kidnap the Ikari leaders, Celestrine, but nothing would stop them in their fight, not even her possible death. As the tall and beautiful alien queen was taken, she spoke a prophecy of the troops' eventual downfall, and Carter's own violent end, which she had foreseen. Her hair was woven with gold and gems, the wealth of all her people was hers to protect, and her treasure was envied by all the men. The Wookiee begins to wake up during the troops' story. To end the conflict with the seemingly unkillable aliens, whose very severed arms and legs would continue to attack them, Colonel Carter employed a hideous bioweapon engineered to eradicate the Ikari by dissolving their insides, to devastating effect, leaving Celestrine as the last of her kind. He then decapitated before going on to kill his commanding general after falling to madness, thus earning the Empire's wrath and Boba's pursuit.
And Carter?
You know the rest. Went crazy, Killed him.
Why?
Nobody knows. Maybe Nim mouthed off at the wrong time. The colonel had been through a bad war.
The Wookiee stands up and heads for Fett. It roars as it lunges at Fett. He turns and fires a single blaster bolt into the Wookiee's head, and it falls down dead.
When Carter went missing, he had a casket with him.
Huh? I don't know about any casket.
What happened to the woman's jewels?
The jewels. Come to think of it, never heard what happened to them.
As he leaves, Boba regards the beast on the floor.
Wookiees don't learn. Port Esther Queen.
Heading for the space drone. Better move. Fett's tricky. He could lose us even with the tracer. If it was up to me.
Well, it's not, so forget it. We've got our orders. And if you know anything about Darth Vader, you follow them. To the letter.
Darth Vader has summoned a gang of prisoners from the jail and set them after Boba Fett. Your instructions are to shadow Fett. When he has retrieved the casket, you will kill him and bring him to me. On no account open the casket or examine its contents. Your lives depend on it. With so much at stake, they can be trusted to follow orders. In any case, I will personally execute them when they return with the prize. The bounty hunter, on the other hand, can be relied upon to disobey me. Little do you dream of the value of what you seek, Boba Fett. And when you learn, you will never wish to part with it. That is why you must die. Boba Fett interrogates a freighter captain as his assassins watch him from a stand of trees.
Fett's talking to the crew, Port Esther Queen. His name is Abel Carter. He is an enemy of the Empire.
Never seen him before. Hey, Boog, you recognize this face?
Nah, I'd remember an ugly-looking mug like that. I have reason to believe you carried him off-planet.
We ain't authorized to take passengers, bounty hunter. Never mind fugitives.
But sometimes you do.
No, it's illegal. We lose our license.
If you're lying, you'll lose more than your license.
Boba Fett walks away.
He can't know about Carter. He's only guessing. Keep our mouths shut and he's got nothing on us.
Don't talk so loud, Captain.
Relax. Even Boba Fett can't hear from this distance.
Fett couldn't have got anything out of the crew. Wait, he's heading back.
You forgot something?
Fett plays a recording for the captain.
He can't know about Carter. He's only guessing. Keep our mouths shut and he's got nothing on us.
Don't talk so loud, Captain.
Now, look, Fett.
He stops the captain's next lie with his fist.
Ah!
Hold this, bounty hunter.
The captain's mate releases a crate full of animals over Fett's head. He rockets out of the way just in time. The crate smashes open.
Drop that crate of needs right on him, Captain. He ain't getting up after that.
Boba floats back down from the sky.
Oh, whoa.
He executes his attacker.
And we're supposed to kill this guy?
Even Fett's got his weak points, Loomis. We just gotta pick our time.
Fett lands and takes a strand of woven jewelry from the captain.
This from Carter?
Yes.
Your life hangs by a thread. Talk.
The assassins report back to Vader.
The freighter took a detour, dropped Carter at Star Station 12. According to the captain, he was disguised in the robes of a Vestari nomad.
And the casket, it was with him?
Guarded it like a Nebok, wouldn't let no one near it.
You're sure of this?
Oh, yes, sir. Skipper talked plenty before the end. Pity we couldn't have spent longer on him. Done a proper job. You know what perfectionists me and the boys are.
If you lose Fett, be sure I'll do a proper job on you.
That the fate of the Empire should lie in the hands of such murderous scum. Still, they are but a tool. When the prize is mine, they are, like Boba Fett,
expendable.
Slave 1 arrives at Star Station 12. Ships coming and going all the time. So easy for a fugitive to lose himself, gain a new identity, to escape undetected to any quarter of the galaxy. Yet there are always traces left behind. Attention, Boba Fett. The unidentified ship detected off F-Star is still following. Homing on Vader's tracer beacon, no doubt. The Dark Lord indeed taking an uncommon interest in proceedings. At the station's pawnbroker, Boba sells the strand of jewels and gets a lead from the shopkeeper, a recent seller of one just like it. Fett identifies the tribal markings of the Duma from his description, and his next move is set. The assassins split up, one following Boba and the rest threatening information out of the shopkeeper. However, the one set to follow him fears he has lost Boba Fett. As he passes a photo booth, he is yanked inside.
Fett!
Who sent you?
You better let me go, or Vader will know about it.
So it was him. How many others with you?
Nobody, just me.
What are your orders?
To follow you, and when you have the casket, kill you. Not that we was gonna do that.
We. So you are not alone.
I can't say anything right today, can I?
The shopkeeper shows the lead assassin the markings.
Means nothing to me. If you're smart, friend, you'll forget we was ever here.
Please.
So, death is to be my reward. I was right to be wary of Lord Vader.
What does the Dark Lord fear? That he will reveal the casket's secret? Or that, having opened it, he will never wish to give it up?
I should stay and deal with the other assassins. Yet time may be of the essence. I must not allow Carter's trail to grow cold. I still say we should kill Fett now and be done with it.
He's got something.
The assassin's hound finds their compatriot dead in the photo booth.
Gan.
Fett got him. Look, he forgot his pictures.
Get after Fett. Don't say no to me. Rod, you frowel, stop your cowering. You think Fett'll give you grief? I'll give you grief.
Nevo, Slave 1, Fett's leaving.
Slave 1 blasts away from the space station. The Duma dwell in the perpetual gloom of the dark side of their planet. Beyond their dark domain, they must wear visors to shield them from the glare of light, a convenient mask for the Colonel's missing eye. They are not so common that one is hard to trace. According to passenger list, a Duman left Star Station 9 days ago aboard liner Oramas, bound for Coruscant.
Coruscant, a dangerous destination for a fugitive.
Boba finds the ship that was carrying the tattooed man. Oh, yes, I remember the Duman. Funny fellow. Never left his cabin. Had all his food sent in. And I'll tell you something else, sir. Something very strange. It was on the first morning.
I will be disembarking on Mark's Minor.
We're bound for Coruscant, sir. We're not stopping at Mark's Minor.
We will.
And the odd thing is, we ran into a meteor shower. Damaged our gyro system. We had to make the nearest planet for repairs. It was Mark's Minor.
Interesting. How long ago?
That would be 6 days ago, sir.
He disembarked?
Oh, yes, sir. Boba gives the man a tip. Oh my, 10 whole credits. Are you sure you can spare this, sir? Wouldn't want you to leave yourself short or anything. Slave 1 leaves the planet. Attention, Boba Fett. Pursuing ship is still shadowing us.
Within range of our weapons?
Negative. They would be more cautious now, but he knows they will have to be dealt with. And soon.
6 days. I am closing in. Perhaps the trail ends on Mark's Minor.
And he is almost certain now that what lies in Abel Carter's casket is not mere jewels, but something infinitely more precious. And in a monastery on Mark's Minor, Carter argues with someone unseen.
You're the cause of all this. You're the one who'll die. My glory, it's what I should have done in the first place. Then none of this would have happened. And do it. Pull the trigger. You know there's nothing I desire more.
In the casket is the living head of the prophetic alien queen.
But you can't.
Because I am all you have, Abelkarda. Without me, this has been for nothing. So you will cling to me like the drowning clutch at straws. But I offer you no hope. Vengeance is coming. You will die in torment. I, Celestrine of the Akari, have seen it. It shall be so.
The assassins again report back to Vader.
Abelkarda hired a land speeder from a lot on Marks. So far, he hasn't returned it.
You are certain it was Carter?
He was sporting a Duma tattoo and carrying a knee-hide casket. Can't be that many of them about.
How long ago?
6 days, give or take. Guy ain't sure. Fett rattled his brains some. Frau followed Fett's set to the edge of town. There's 2 clear speeder tracks heading into the Marb Wastes. Fett's closing in. My guess is Carter's here, on Marks.
Then what are you sitting around for? Get moving!
Right you are, sir. Me and the boys just having a spot of lunch, fortifying ourselves for the journey. Then we'll be out of here like a streak.
Lose that casket, and you'll be fortifying yourselves for the gallows. Go now!
The assassins pile into a speeder and head out.
Nebo and his crew have spent too long in the dungeons. Their wits are dull. I fear they will be no match for Fett. The prize is nearly within my grasp. I must not let it slip away now. The fleet will continue to Coruscant. This ship will alter course. Our heading, my lord? Marks Minor.
Vader's Star Destroyer breaks away from the fleet. Boba Fett speeds across a barren landscape filled with volcanoes and lava in search of his prey when he comes across a crashed speeder and stops to investigate.
Mechanical failure.
On foot, Carter's trail would be difficult to follow over the rocky terrain ahead. Yet on foot few could survive for long in this desolation, and there was but one place where he might find succor. Carter threatens the monks with death if they allow Boba Fett through their gates. As men of peace who do not wish to die, they are being put in a precarious place.
I warn you, if I go, I'll take you all with me.
These hermits cannot save you, Abelkarda. Your days are numbered 31. Today is 30.
How could he find me? I took every precaution.
Tomorrow you pay the price for the murder of the Akari.
Shut up, rot you. I'm sick of hearing it. You don't know everything, Celestrine.
No, not everything. For my own fate remains shrouded from me. I see Fett, and behind him another. A dark presence, casting a fearful shadow over all my tomorrows. Maybe it brings my salvation and my destruction.
The assassins on Fett's trail catch up, finding the same crashed speeder.
Something up ahead. It's a higher speeder. Been here a while by the look of it. I say we wait till morning, Nebo. It's getting too dark to follow the trail.
Yeah? You gonna tell Vader that?
What's Vader gonna know? Anyway, it's bad enough meeting Fett in daylight. I'd hate to run across him when I can't see him. What is it, Frau?
The feared bounty hunter appears before them on a high ridge.
Uh-oh. Well, if it ain't Boba Fett, imagine running into you way out here.
Pretense is pointless. I know your purpose.
Now, wait a minute. There's no need for us to fight over this. All we want is Carter's casket.
Fett fires his blaster, gunning down the leader first.
Ah!
Then fires again, dropping his ally. The hound whimpers as he runs for the hills. Boba Fett targets the animal and fires his backpack rocket. Direct hit. Fett checks the thug, lifting his head by the hair to ensure that he's dead. Satisfied, he kicks the leader over.
Please.
He pleads for his life. Fett silences him. Night falls, and the Empire arrives.
The bodies are fresh, my lord. I'd say 2 hours, 3 at most.
We found a land speeder track heading up into the mountains. Only one habitation in that range, a hermitage, ancient order of pessimists. Very well. I will proceed alone. You will remain here until I return.
Vader takes off alone in a speeder.
I was as well not to rely on Nevo's band. Fett is far too dangerous an opponent. An opponent perhaps even worthy of me. We shall see.
Rider approaching! Oh dear, oh dear.
Boba walks up to the monastery.
What do you want?
I seek one who wears the mark of the Duma.
There's no one here of that description. Go away.
I have reason to believe otherwise. I must be sure. Open the gate.
I knew he wouldn't swallow it. Let him in, High Hermit, or he'll kill us all. Yes, you're probably right. But if I do let him in, he'll kill us for sure. We've got to stick to the plan. We don't have to let you in if we don't want to. And we don't want to. We have big stones here, and if you don't go away, we'll drop them on you. So there.
Fett explodes the rock in his hands.
Yikes! Run for it! We're doomed!
Cowards! My oath! I warned you what you'd get!
Carter fires wildly at the monks.
Ooh!
The main entrance explodes inward. The bounty hunter enters the compound. He strides confidently forward, not even flinching as Carter's laser blast impact on the rocks all around him. Fett jetpacks up towards Carter's tower room, firing a blast into his window frame to back him off. His search is at an end, yet he must take care lest the object of it be lost.
Abel Carter, you have been declared enemy of the Empire. I have a warrant for your execution.
Boba burns through the tower door's lock. Fett slowly ascends the tower as he talks to Carter through a communicator, placed at the bottom of the stairs.
Let us talk.
What's there to talk about? You're gonna kill me, aren't you?
Plans may change. I could forget I ever saw you. The Akari woman's jewels might help me forget.
The jewels? He thinks that's all I have. I could shear her.
You're going to die. Nothing can save you.
Shut up, you. Half the jewels, all right, Fett? That's fair.
Agreed. Bring them down here.
No, no. I won't fall for that one, Fett.
Fall for this one.
Boba Fett leaps out from a corner behind Colonel Carter, catching him in the chest with his grapple as he turns. Carter flies out the window, propelled by it, and falls, only to be caught by the grapple above a lava pit.
Oh, my. You said...
I lied.
Fett drops him. Carter falls into the lava and quickly disappears.
Greetings, Boba Fett. I've been expecting you.
And are you, Celestrine of the Akari?
The solution had gradually become obvious. The Akari ability to survive dismemberment, Carter's uncanny knowledge of the future. More than anything, Darth Vader's interest. Not for mere jewels did the Dark Lord go to such lengths.
I was told Carter had beheaded you.
It was not by choice, I assure you. I was last of my tribe, and I would have willingly died. I craved death, but Commander Carter was very careful to keep me alive. He saw profit in my ability to foretell the future, and he was an ambitious man. But I obtained poison, the same that he used to destroy my people.
Celestrine stabs herself in the stomach with a poisoned knife.
No.
Before the morbidity could spread, he severed my head.
Medic.
They constructed this abomination. I cursed him. I begged him to let me die, to join my people. But I knew he wouldn't. I had seen the future. 30 days and 1.
Carter rants that Celestrine will take him to the top as she predicts his general will die. General Nim arrives, congratulating Carter, and he tries to take the casket for Lord Vader. Jealous of his prize, Carter shoves General Nim, and he falls onto Carter's sword, killing him. Carter guns down the general's guards in a panic.
Curse you! You said Nim would die. You didn't tell me I'd do it.
So he ran. But there was no way he could escape destiny. Now I am yours, Boba Fett. Tell me, do you wish to know what the future holds?
No, but others do.
Only now does Boba Fett comprehend the true value of the prize. Whoever possesses it possesses power beyond imagining. For such a treasure, Fett can name his price. Vader had been wise to distrust him.
Stranger approaching. It's Darth Vader.
I thought things couldn't get any worse.
That'll teach you to be optimistic.
What now, Boba Fett? Do you fight, or run, or beg for your life?
Darth Vader calls to Boba Fett from among the frightened monks.
Boba Fett? Fett, I assume you have dealt with the traitor Abalcard. You have something that is mine. Bring it and receive your reward.
His reward, he knows, will be death. Boba fires laser blasts at Vader, but he easily deflects them with his hand. The monks scatter and run from the ricochets.
Ah! Mercy!
I see it now. The Dark Lord of the Sith. He is the shadow on my tomorrows. He will decide my fate. But Boba Fett won't give me up, not without a fight. I am worth too much. I, who can see the future. Greed was Avalcarda's downfall. Will it be yours? Shall I tell you whether you live or die?
I'll make my own future, Celestrine.
Boba closes her casket and drops a thermal detonator down the tower's stairs.
Tink,
It bounces to ground level as Vader nears the door.
tink, tink, tink.
Thrown by the blast, the Dark Lord hangs over the edge of a lava pit. Fett dives down and rockets away from the tower with the casket. He does not fear the Dark Lord, but only a fool seeks close combat with Darth Vader. Vader climbs back up.
More smoke than flame. A ruse.
Boba lands near his speeder, but Vader blocks his exit.
Your defiance is noted, Fett. Abalcarda is not the only one who should have been declared enemy of the Empire. He left me no choice. My death was always part of the plan. Stand aside. I will kill you if I have to. That is one possibility.
Vader slices Fett's speeder in two with his lightsaber.
Let us remove escape from the equation.
Fett opens fire with his wrist gauntlet. Vader blocks the laser bolt with his lightsaber. Fett responds with a rocket, knocking Vader off his feet.
Whoa.
He is soon back up and blocking more laser blasts, though.
I hoped you would give me a good contest, bounty hunter. You must try harder.
The monks watch the battle in horror.
Fett's throwing everything at him. Nothing's getting through.
The bounty hunter's backing off. Vader's moving in for the kill. Oh, mercy. Where next?
Vader deflects one of Fett's blasts back at him, catching his helmet. Boba falls, another shot is blocked, and Vader lunges in for the kill. Fett jetpacks out of the deadly blade's path in the nick of time, rising to his feet on a cliff above a river of lava.
We would not wish the prize to be lost in our squabble, Fett. Put the casket down.
Darth Vader uses the Force on Boba Fett's mind.
Put it down. You're twisting my thoughts.
He resists, dropping his blaster and clutching the casket with both hands.
It won't work. It's mine. Have a care.
The edge gives way behind him, and the bounty hunter falls into the chasm.
No!
Vader rushes to the edge.
The fool!
Fett jetpacks back up, blaster again in hand, and fires directly into Vader's helmet.
Oh,
The Dark Lord drops his lightsaber as he is driven back.
I win.
He lands, keeping a gun on Vader.
You did well, Fett. Few have ever bettered me. You possess more guile than I gave you credit for. The mistake was to allow time for my wits to clear.
Vader force pulls the gun from Fett's hands. Fett drops the casket as Vader begins to choke him with the Force. He tries to bring his arms to bear, but an unseen power resists him.
It could never have been a fair contest. In the end, I wield the more potent weapons. Still, you have earned my respect. I will make your end swift. You deserve that, at least.
He has felt the Force before, but never like this. Its grip as strong as steel, tightening around him, squeezing the life from him.
My lord, we should not be at odds. It is the fortune teller who makes us enemies. Let us remove the cause of our dispute.
Boba kicks the casket over the edge.
Madness.
Vader shoves him aside as he rushes forward.
No.
Darth Vader catches the falling casket with the Force before it hits the lava. Unwilling to let the prize be destroyed, Vader allows Fett to escape. And slowly, the casket begins to rise. Finally, Darth Vader claims his prize.
Quickly, or she may still be lost.
He opens Celestrine's casket.
For one blessed moment, I thought my death had come.
That would be such a pity, Celestrine of the Akari, when you can do so much for me.
Boba escapes on Vader's speeder.
Fett.
What does the loss of one land speeder matter when he holds the key to the future in his hands? Vader returns to his ship. Your land speeder passed us by some time ago, my lord, with Boba Fett aboard. We were naturally concerned.
He and I have unfinished business.
We tried to stop him.
I see.
Fett's ship has left the planet and entered hyperspace. Destination unknown. Vader's ship leaves the planet and the monks celebrate. But not for long. Massive energy blasts rain down from the Star Destroyer, erasing the monastery and its inhabitants. The Hermitage has been obliterated, my lord.
The pessimists may have seen more than was good for them. Best to ensure their silence.
Finally, Vader confers with Celestrine, formerly of the Akari.
Where is Fett?
I do not know. Visions come to me as they will. I do not control them. What I can tell you, Lord of the Sith, is that the bounty hunter will yet be of great service to your cursed empire, and that time will not be long in coming. Knowing that, you will not seek him out and destroy him.
And what of my future, Celestrine? What visions do you see?
Do you truly wish to know?
Of course.
Such knowledge can be dangerous. It cannot help you, for what will be, but it has the power to destroy. It brought only despair to my people. It was the downfall of Avalkarda. Perhaps the bounty hunter realized the dangers, for he wanted only the price I would bring. Knowing that, if you still wish to know your fate, I have my own price. My death.
You ask too much.
Too much now, perhaps. But when you have seen the future, you will agree. You are an ambitious man, Darth Vader. But there can be but one Emperor.
Celestrine shows Vader a vision of his possible future.
Why have you brought me here in chains, Emperor? I have committed no crime against you.
No, but it is in your heart, and that is sufficient.
Vader collapses in his chains.
You are becoming too powerful for my comfort. It is best that you be removed now. So it shall come to naught. Palpatine's mastery of the dark side will always be greater.
That is one future. Let me show you another.
Your power is waning, Palpatine. Your day is over.
This is treachery, Vader.
Only until I have replaced you, Emperor. Then it becomes an act of succession.
Darth Vader rips the Emperor's body in half with his lightsaber.
The Emperor has met with an accident. Before he died, he named me to succeed him.
Kneel before the Emperor!
A future more to your liking?
If it is true.
And if it is, what of all that shall pass between now and then? What purpose to your existence when the future is preordained? What will be, will be. You cannot change it. Yet the joy of life is in achieving, in overcoming obstacles to your desires. To have foreknowledge of success destroys all that comes between. It is a curse.
Yes, I see the perils. Yet I would still know which of these futures is the true one.
Perhaps neither. I have spared you so far, Lord Vader, in expectation of your gratitude. Let me tell you now of a future that will be. Shortly, the Emperor will appear to you. He will demand a token of your loyalty, one that you will not be prepared to give. I am that token.
The Emperor, my lord.
He has found out? How?
He has eyes everywhere, as you well know. To own me is fraught with danger, yet to permit my power to pass to another is the greater risk. But how can you refuse?
Vader closes her casket. The Emperor's hologram appears.
It has come to my attention that you possess the living head of a woman who can predict the future. I take it that your intention is to deliver her to me as a token of your loyalty. You have been misinformed, Emperor. You deny you have her? No. I merely take issue with the word living.
Vader crushes Celestrine's head with the Force.
The seizure was by necessity violent. I regret the woman perished. I shall dispatch her remains immediately for your inspection.
As Slave One sinks deeper into space, Boba Fett reflects on what has happened. The twists and turns of fate are strange and unpredictable, for most mortal beings at least, and better to remain that way. Much good had her power done Celestrine of the Ikari. And Vader? What would the Dark Lord gain from it? Vader. There had been a moment on the lip of that fiery pit when the Dark Lord had been at his mercy. The slightest twitch would have sent him to his doom. But by then the prize was lost, sacrificed to save himself. Killing Vader would not have brought it back. Indeed, may have brought the whole might of the Empire down upon his own head. And where's the profit in that? For now he must lie low. The galaxy is big enough for both. In time, Lord Vader's temper would no doubt cool. He is not one to maintain fruitless enmities. So, honors shared. True, he has lost the greater prize, but he still has his life, and his time has not been entirely wasted. Fett examines his payment, the fantastic treasure of Celestrine's jewel-woven hair. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tale, and I hope it illustrated the level of power and respect Fett commanded in the old EU. I hope it showed you why he has his reputation. And speaking of that reputation, this next story is much shorter, but deals more directly with Fett's life and personal trouble, unconnected with a specific bounty or the Empire, and thus adds another dimension to his character. Well, that's the plan anyway. Roughly 5 years after escaping the Sarlacc pit following Return of the Jedi, an imposter in Mandalorian armor named Jodo Kast has been taking high-priced jobs by posing as Boba Fett, and that's just not a very good idea. Not while the man himself is still alive and operating. Let's see why in our next story. Boba Fett, Twin Engines of Destruction.
The planet Fluwaka. The last of the pirates has eluded me until now. The bounty is high on this one.
A winged creature flies back to its nest in a cave set high up in a tall, rocky spire.
Dengar's been after its hide as well.
A bounty hunter in Mandalorian armor flies in after him.
Nostric, I heard you were the best. I am better.
The winged pirate triggers a bomb. The cave is instantly filled with fire, blasting outwards. From the flames, the bounty hunter emerges with his jetpack blazing.
Nice try.
Inside the cave, the winged creature enters a secret room via an armored door. The bounty hunter follows him, firing a dart into his leg before the door closes. The pirate is wanted for raiding New Republic cargo ships.
I don't like taking the rebel bounties, but a hunt's a hunt.
The bounty hunter blows the door off the secret room and enters.
Nostric, my darts have frank venom in them. I know one of them got you. If I don't give you the antidote very shortly, you'll be paralyzed.
So much for reasoning with him. You'd think he'd know my reputation.
He must be lying.
They posted for him alive, not mobile. From hiding, the pirate triggers another trap. A trapdoor swings open underneath the hunter. He falls, but grabs the edge in time.
Sloppy. Not the only one, though.
Below him he sees stormtroopers impaled on spikes.
But they didn't have jetpacks.
Gnostic triggers a sonic weapon. The bounty hunter Dengar arrives at the cave entrance.
Likes to make an entrance, don't he? From the sound of things inside, one of them's gonna be in trouble. And I bet I know who.
The hunter in Mandalorian armor climbs out of the hole, and Dengar shoots the sonic device, shutting it down.
I'm wrong. He's sloppy.
Dengar inspects the pirate, who is slumped to the ground.
Caught by the dots, huh? Ugly bastard. Well, if he don't make it, I got myself a bounty. You've got yourself a hole in the head if you don't step away. Drop the blaster.
The Mandalorian hunter holds a gun on Dengar. I probably saved your life, Fett. Again. And this is the thanks.
You ain't Fett. What makes you think that?
Besides the sloppy entrance and cliffhanging he was doing, Fett would never pull a blaster on another hunter.
Well, almost never.
You're that Kast guy, ain't you? Jodo Kast. You can lower the blaster. I'm not gonna rush you. Not my style.
I don't trust anyone. Keeps me alive.
Being smart keeps you alive. And masquerading as Boba Fett ain't smart. Kast injects the unconscious pirate with the antidote.
So, you gonna shoot me? Only if you keep talking. Get on your skiff and go.
Dengar flies away on his skiff.
Bad move on Kast's part, letting me live. While I'm grateful he didn't kill me, I'm not too partial to anyone pointing a blaster at my head. And since Kast is telling people he's Boba Fett to get the higher bounties, I know someone else who won't be happy. And I'm one of the few sentients alive who knows how to contact him.
Deep in space, Slave 1 receives the information. Message received from Dengar to Sarlacc Food. Your twin spotted again on Fluwaka. Time to dump the garbage. You owe me 2. At a settlement on a desolate planet, a man in black threatens his enemies from atop a pile of corpses.
Do you see who has the power? The Sith come to me. Work through me. I am the Sith. Those who will not see will feed me. Those who do see will be a part of me. Part of power and strength and life and death.
He triggers an explosion with a wave of his hand.
Embrace the fear you feel, for in me you shall find...
Boba Fett breaks his neck with one blow.
In you they'll find Pantadong.
He flies down to the settlement and drops the man at their feet. He did it! He's dead! Nosum Nol is dead! You've defeated the Sith Lord!
He wasn't Sith. I know Sith.
But...
all trickery. His gloves are wired. Pick your profits more carefully.
Boba rockets away, returning to his ship.
I'd consider giving some of these creds back to their orphanage, but but I'm going to need to spend them on my next job.
Baqualis 3. In a highly advanced city, a scarred man, wrapped in bandages, approaches a security checkpoint.
Welcome to the House of Benelux. Please proceed forward. All weapons need to be checked at the front desk. Good midday, sir. You are?
Pragmatic.
Our scan shows you have no weapons. Please wait. Maddox, come in. My name is Cass Yelik. Welcome to the House of Benelux. So, you need to hire a hunter?
Jodo Cass.
You stated that in your message. He's expensive. Any particular reason you want him?
Boba Fett isn't available.
I see. Well, you do know your hunters, Maddox. Your credits and references check out. We can't find a record of you having used a hunter before, though, Maddox.
Haven't had a reason to. There's a man who's done me many great wrongs. He's used both my name and my business. I'm sure you know how important a reputation is.
And you want Cass to find him?
I don't need to find him. I know where he is. He's on Nal Hutta, in one of the abandoned Hutt clan keeps. I want Cass to bring him to me. I'm offering 85,000 credits dead and 100,000 alive. I prefer him alive. If your house can't supply Cass to me, there are other hunting guilds.
You misunderstand my intentions, Maddox. I just wanted you to understand that the art of bounty hunting is expensive and dangerous.
I know all about the art of the hunt.
Thank you for your visit to the House of Benelux.
The scarred man returns to his ship, removes his bandages, and Boba Fett puts his flight suit and armor back on. He returns, this time heading for the bar to meet Dengar.
There you are. I wonder what was taking you so long. Man can get hopped up on these synth rings.
Guida Pugtaba Sindale, stimulants?
Nah, babe, we're gonna head out. So, you hired Cass? Yes. Back to the ship then, is it?
Back at Slay 1.
So Manoru decided she didn't want to deal with this hunt. I think you boog her out sometimes. I mean, what with her being a tech empath and all. You know what I like best about you, Fett? You're such a sparkling conversationalist. Sometimes it's better to think rather than speak. So, did Cass Yelik get boogled out by your Sarlacc scars? Those things will probably never go away. No wonder you never show your face. This is my face. Why don't you want to trap him on Nar Shaddaa? Too much I can't control. Nal Hut is better. Several of the clans owe me, or want me to owe them.
Yeah, they certainly made their mark on this world. One dag of a slimy mark. Why this one?
It's deserted after our Hutt clan war. No claims on it. I don't like calling in markers, or owing anyone.
Especially not the Hutts, huh? We got 6 days to set up?
6 days until Jodo Cass learns what it means to cross me. Nal Hutta, the Hutt homeworld. They renamed it after they drove all the EOTE off planet. The name means glorious jewel in Huttese.
Jodo Cass lands his modified Imperial shuttle.
Certain parts of the planet still are beautiful if you like plants, but the Hutts have erected all sorts of palaces, pleasure gardens, and clan houses. But I'm not here for sightseeing. Some rich guy named Maddox has hired me to capture Satnic Highcrop. Highcrop has apparently been masquerading as Maddox and screwing up some jobs. Benelux Guild told me I got hired because Boba Fett wasn't available.
He sets out to begin his search, scanning his surroundings.
The irony didn't escape them, or me. I've gotten more than a few jobs because I've got the same Mandalorian armor as Fett. Most skags couldn't care less who's in the armor. It's the prestige of the well-dressed hunter they want, almost as much as the prey. So what if a few of them think I'm Fett? I'm better than that old fossil anyhow.
Jodo leaps forward to avoid a large metal door closing.
Dang!
It clangs shut behind him.
This hunt may not be as easy as I thought. There's another one. 1, 2, 3.
He tosses grenades and blows his way through another large metal door.
These aren't Hutt defenses. Did Highcrop put them in?
Cass steps on an unseen floor plate. Hidden cannons begin to fire, crisscrossing the room with bolts of energy.
Laser webs. Someone's gone to a lot of trouble to keep me away.
Jodo dodges between the lasers.
Walls are barely scratched by the grenade. They're too thick. But the ceiling. Hate to lose this baby, but...
He fires his backpack rocket into the ceiling, blasting a hole.
Of course, when am I going to use a magnetic grappler? If I miss it, I'm dead.
He rockets up between the lasers and slips through the hole, the roof knocking off some equipment from his belt.
But then, Jodo Cast never misses.
A laser obliterates it.
Scratch one stun collar.
Jodo Cast now stands in a ruined greenhouse above the hole.
I'll just have to beat Hycrop into submission for all this trouble. He already knows I'm here, but I bet he doesn't expect me to still be alive. Let's jack the system to shut down the rest of the defenses.
Cast accesses the control panel.
Minox?
He turns and fires at a pair of flapping creatures.
Not Minox. These are something else. Dad, get your slimy suckers away.
Jodo fries the remaining beast with his flamethrower.
Scrape through to my legs. Hope they aren't poisonous. I'm really losing my patience.
Cast follows a sparking panel and pries open a door. He spots his prey running down a flight of stairs and follows him.
There he is. Must have been watching his pets attack me. Don't even twitch. You got a big bounty, dead or alive, Hycrop.
The man trips and falls to the floor.
I'd rather take you alive if... What?
The image of the man vanishes.
It's called a hologram. And this is called a trap.
Fett places his blaster against the back of Cast's helmet.
And I'm calling you dead.
And arms it. Dengar watches them both on a monitor. Sitting around and now hot up for the last few days hasn't been thrilling. Except for rounding up those Quinilla things. That was more of a challenge than some of my hunts. Of course, Jodo Cast had to go and fry him. They were such lovable leeches. I have to admit the guy's better than I thought when I saw him back on Pluwaka. Trying to be the big shot hunter. Posing as the best in the business. But he's no Boba Fett.
Fett, can't we talk about this? You can't kill me. It's against the code. I wasn't the first one to break the code.
Jodo aims his jetpack rockets backwards.
Take off the helmet. Slowly.
Cast reaches for his helmet, then fires his jetpack. He blasts away from Boba as he flies backwards. Fett fires but misses. Pew! In his panic, Cast tries to fire back with his blaster and wrist rockets, his shots going wild as one rocket bounces off Fett's helmet. Fett hits the floor, still firing, as Cast rolls to a stop. Boba's shots blow a hole in the ceiling.
Dang, you're dead, fossil!
As Cast fires at Fett again, missing every shot as Boba dives behind a column. Jodo flies toward the hole.
Gotta get out of here.
Boba Fett fires his grapple at the escaping imposter.
Fight on my own terms outside.
The grapple catches Jodo Cast's leg. Fett anchors the line to the column. Cast stops moving with a jerk as the line goes taut, just short of the hole.
Ah!
Boba rockets up and kicks Jodo in the head. He then smashes Cast's jetpack with a metal rod. Jodo grabs Fett's leg as he falls.
Damn you! If I fall, I'm taking you with me. You have a lot to learn.
Boba shoots a dart into Cast's neck. It electrifies him and he lets go.
Ah! Unfortunately for you, your time for learning is over.
Boba scans him as he plummets. Jodo Cast hits the floor in a heap, struggling to move as Fett lands beside him.
Nerve toxin. Different from the ones you use.
He throws Cast's jetpack away.
You won't be needing that anymore. Let's see who you are.
Boba removes Jodo's helmet. The young man inside shudders, bleeding from his nose and eye.
You're no one. Not Dollar, not Shiza. Nobody. You didn't earn this armor.
Boba Fett strips the pretender of his armor.
You didn't earn my reputation. You called me a fossil. If you were going to be me, you should have learned from this fossil. You'll never be me.
He sets 3 glass tubes down before his victim.
One of these vials contains the antidote. If you have the power to get it before your rocket pack blows up, you may live. You won't, though. You're not me.
Fett leaves the young man near his jetpack, sparking in a pool of fluid. He returns to Dengar and Slave 1. So ends the saga of the man who would be Boba Fett, huh? That rocket pack trick of his caught you by surprise, didn't it? I'm talking to myself again, aren't I? So why'd you give him a chance to live? Dengar grabs the walls as a distant explosion rocks the ship.
I didn't.
The bounty hunters leave the planet. The end. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this look at the old version of Boba Fett, and hopefully you have a better understanding of why the current version just isn't quite living up to some fans' expectations. There's a little bit of his old self in his first appearance in The Mandalorian, and I thought he was in fine form in the finale, but along the way there were a lot of letdowns. If we can look at the world of Star Wars as a western, Boba Fett was that legendary gunfighter you never wanted to find yourself in the crosshairs of. He was clever and resourceful, always prepared for any situation, able to turn anything to his advantage. I saw him as the counterpart to Han Solo on the villain's side, a mercenary rogue who wasn't quite evil, just cold-blooded and ruthless in the name of being effective. The prequel era, which was just starting up when these comics were published, expanded Boba's backstory to include a father who he was very proud of, and whose name and reputation he wanted to keep alive, following exactly in his footsteps and becoming the next chapter of their story, and I found that to be plenty enough of an emotional core for the character while maintaining the image and place in the universe he already had from the OT and its expansions. Because make no mistake, Boba Fett is very much undefined in the films themselves. It always has been the fans who wanted and demanded more of him, and who helped define him with our imaginations. And Boba had a much larger part in the old expanded universe than he ever played on the screen. Something about him caught our imaginations, and I personally think it's that he was such a cool villain. I don't care much for the trend of redeeming previously villainous figures so they can be resold as proper protagonists, as it robs them of what made them cool in the first place. People love a good villain. Just have a proper villain protagonist for once. We don't always have to center stories on the heroes, you know. I would have loved to have seen a show more like these comics, telling individual stories all through the timeline, but I did end up liking the modern era version just fine, largely due to Tamura's selling the character's change of heart when it counted. I do love this new era of Star Wars for the most part. I still have defense videos up for The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker because I found ways to love them even as a lifetime fan of Star Wars. This is the first real bone I've had to pick with them, is the occasional bumbling nice guy Boba Fett, and mostly because I feel it's more a marketing decision than an artistic one. But enough of my nerd ranting, and sorry for that. Please feel free to voice your own opinions on the character, the show, or on these comics, positive or negative, in the comments, and I will read them. If you listen to all of that, I think I owe you that much at least. Well, goodbye until next time, and as always, thanks for watching.